More people are getting out of the house now that spring has blossomed, and it means drivers are hitting the roads.
Yeah, but with more traffic, unfortunately, means that there are more crashes. And one Metro Detroit organizer wants to get ahead of it, help prevent any accidents that it can.
And I think we're all thankful for that. Here to talk to us about the Safe Streets campaign, we have Trevor Layton from the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments. Trevor, thank you for joining us.
Good morning. My pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So you came prepared, lots of notes here.
Statistics, things like that.
How do we make our roads and streets safer?
Exactly. Well, the answer is it's not just one thing. The SEMCOG, the Southeast Michigan Council of Government, in partnership with local governments and agencies all over Southeast Michigan, are working really hard on this issue. So in the Southeast Michigan Traffic Safety Plan, we work with something called the Safe System approach. And so there are multiple elements to making the system safer. First and foremost among those is the environment itself, so the roads. So you have road agencies working to make things safer with things like more sidewalks and bike lanes and even roundabouts. But then another element is safer people. So that's us. That's what we can do when we're actually out there on the road. And what we say for safe streets is whether you're walking, biking, driving, in a wheelchair, riding transit, we all have a role to play. Safety is really everyone's responsibility. And so being aware, obviously things like if we're driving, going at a safe speed for the conditions we were talking about a little bit during the break, if it rains a little bit.
Just slow down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting because as my many years as a traffic reporter, you would think majority of the accidents come in the winter season, but people are maybe a little bit cockier behind the wheel when the weather is nice because they don't have to slow down because they're not worried about the snow. Is that what you see? Well,
I think here in Four Seasons, Michigan, we get very excited when the weather warms up, and that includes both, people who drive. Yeah, maybe we do drive a little bit faster. There's more daylight, during the summer hours, and then also we have more people out walking and biking, which is a really key issue. So. One of the biggest crash fatality rates we have, obviously, is for people who are not protected by being inside of a vehicle. So whether you're walking or biking or otherwise just trying to cross the street, speed is a really key issue. And also, daylight hours, there are fewer of them in the winter, but as the weather warms up, we're kind of getting out of this period right now as the days are stretching longer as we get into spring, but especially in the fall as it's still warm, but starting to get dark a little bit sooner, and even kids are going to school or coming home. When it's not so bright out, that's when we really need to be aware of that.
I feel like a lot of us, when we're sitting in our car, we're like everybody else. It's not us. But sometimes we could be the problematic driver. How do we create that self-awareness so we can, just have better practices on the road?
Exactly. So one of the things we talk about, and the Road Commission for Oakland County has been a leader in this for decades in Southeast Michigan, is adopting a culture of safety. So we all have, thousands of distractions every day in our lives, but, it's a real responsibility to get into a car, to take someone with us. Maybe we're responsible for the care of someone a little bit older than us, someone a little bit younger than us, and we need to cross the street with them. It's an everyday thing. It's really easy to lose sight of the thing that we're focused on right now because we have so many responsibilities throughout the day, throughout the week. But whatever we can do to just stay focused on the main thing, which is just to get to the next destination safely, that's what we're talking about.
Well, hopefully that is a great reminder for all of the drivers out there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Leading by example as well, because the kids are always watching.
Right.
And there are future drivers. Thank you so much.